Hello, watchers. I'm Jacob. Today, in this video, I like to share my thoughts about retirement to the with the people similar age group, like 50, 60, something like that. And in Korea, maybe 50 actually is in a way a bit early to body retirement, and I believe it's pretty same as to the people in other part of the world, right? Actually, it's too early still, like to think about it seriously. But anyway, the time will come soon, and it is very high time to think about it and to be prepared anyway. And I also haven't thought about my retirement very thoroughly yet, and I don't have very clear picture about it, and I don't know how it will look like. But anyway, I'm also these days I have some moment to ponder it over and still not clear anyway. I mean, but the change of the world so fast, and many things I cannot wrap it around my head too fast and changey, very weird directions, which I never have imagined before, right? And one thing is very clear that we are living in a very confusing world, and basically you don't have anybody to get some good insight about the change, because no matter you are young or old, no one knows what's coming next, right? No one knows. That is my feeling. And it's kind of confusing and in a way frustrating, that's for sure. And these days I have some saying from my friend, one of my friend, who went in my hometown friend. I mean, actually, that saying was not happen recently. I mean, actually, like very early days of here, this cafe, we had like all school friends gathering here. It was around 9 years ago, and then I had around 20 of my old school friends here have a party, like those who went to same elementary school, right? All like from my hometown, and that day, I mean, we are very happy and delightful, and to see those all-time friends, right? From your childhood. And it was, and then what happened was, during the, drinking and all the, you know, kind of delightful first, one of the girl, I mean, by the time actually she became old lady, right? Like anyway, but one of the girl, we that time we share, you know, very funny memory and a lot of fun things in our childhood, and crack a lot of kind of some sort of delightful joke, even some like whatever, like profane, whatever. We became already old enough to crack all those kind of funny jokes around. I mean, each other, and then we share some memories. Good memory, funny memory, all these kind of things. From the elementary school days, right? And then that time, one girl who was very, doing in our hometown in our young days. That girl was, very famous and wild, and like she acted like more than men or something. And then like you know, no one wants to mess around her. If you mess her around, you'll get repaid, whatever. Get you know punished, obviously, by a very childish way anyway, right? And then I, whereas I was very timid, mild, that kind of boy, and I was not smart boy that time. Just just kind of laggard, slack, lazy, that kind of boy, right? And then she said, "Jacob, you were very brave that days," and I was like, "What? What do you mean by brave?" And like she didn't say anything about it. She didn't add, add any more words, and she didn't explain what it's about. But anyway, I was kind of bewildered, and you know, being brave for the small kid, the memory is very strange, isn't it? Like you have some memory for the your all-time friend, some boy, like the the memory might be very different, right? I mean, many cases, like maybe you are so funny or you are so like naughty, whatever, like that kind of memory is pretty more common, right? But I was definitely very timid and like mild, never be naughty and not smart, kind of lack and slow. And then somebody told you were brave when you were, small boy. And it was, I don't know. I mean, later, and we finished the finished the gathering and very happily. And then, you know, later that time, we didn't meet each other until now. And then we didn't have any kind of further contact, right? And the thing was, I mean, these days, I mean, that girl's saying pretty resonate me. I mean, Jacob, you were brave. I mean, I don't know, somehow it resonates me these days a lot. Like, being brave. What does it mean? And Like it is, and then I start thinking, back my the life course until now, and then I'm realizing that every like important point of shift of my life, I made very, in a way, some brave, decisions or kind of very critical change. Many of the decision I made that time was not very kind of usual. Something little bit, in a way, look strange or look weird or even stupid, right? And then I've been through making that kind of very critical decisions to my life for my life. And I don't say all the decision I made like succeed. I mean, in a way, most of them fail in a very stupid way or funny way, and like turn out to be a bravado, not kind of very wise and clever move I made. But anyway, and then at this age of my 50, that girl saying pretty resonated me so much. Jacob, you were brave, and I'm thinking maybe, very possibly, at this moment, I may have to try to, I may have to try another brave decision for my life, and I don't know what that decision look like, what that decision is about, but I may have to consider some taking another bravado. I don't know. I'm not very sure at this moment, but I'm thinking to, I'm considering to take some kind of bold actions, bold move. Anyway, I have been secluded myself from outside world, and I keep myself from the communication with outside world until now. I rather choose to be alone, peace and calm, and without agitating myself, even without revealing myself to the outside world. And it helped me a lot for healing myself from the delusions I suffered before in the past. But for my retirement, I mean, nearing to my retiring age, maybe it is high time for me to considering some brave move or some bold move. I'm thinking, I mean, that girl saying, that my old friends saying, very resonating me within me very deeply. So I'm thinking. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.